Good morning, good morning, good morning. Hi, everyone. All right, so it is like 8 a.m. right now. I didn't sleep in. I've been awake since 4, but I've been going over the plans for the day. So I'm coming up to a very long stretch of burnt section where there is nothing but widowmakers standing everywhere. There are 2 campsites in the next like 20 miles, and that's it. One is a cabin, and the other one is a tent site. One is at 4.7 miles, and I think the other one is at like around 14.8 or 14.9, something like that. And I got a big climb again today. So I've been looking at the map, and I don't think that I can make it to the 15-mile one, even if I started out early. I've been pushing really hard the last few days, and I've been feeling really strong, but I think that's still with a big climb. I think that would be a little too much right now. And I don't want to get stuck having to camp among a bunch of widowmakers. So the plan is 2 short days. So I'm going to go to the cabin today, which would be almost 5 miles. That way I can sort of let my stuff dry out. My quilt especially, it hasn't really had any opportunity to dry the last few days. So it would be nice to have it hanging. And apparently there is a stove, a wood stove in the cabin as well. It's built and maintained by a local snowmobile club, but it's actually open to the public, so it's sort of like a first come, first serve. So I'm hoping to get there and dry stuff out at the very least. That'll give me like a 10-mile hike, 10 plus mile hike, almost 11, to get to the second campsite that is not in the burn area. So I will be able to sleep soundly that night as well. Then I think there's still a few more burned areas over like the next 10 or 15, maybe 20 miles. But I'm going to try and space those ones out. The terrain after tomorrow levels out somewhat, so I don't have as many steep climbs. It's all pretty much ridge running or it's downhill. And I do better in that type of terrain. So I think it would be easier for me to pick up bigger miles. So that is the plan for now. I'll keep you updated. I am hungry this morning, so that's one of the other things is I'm going to get up and make myself some breakfast and then pack up and head out. So I am loaded with water. At the spring here last night, I filled up my CNOC. Oh, and my CNOC is the latest in damaged items. So it's not leaking, but the little hook here that I hang it on, it's broken. So I can't just hang it off the back of my pack anymore. So I'll have to put it in one of my little cubbies, but that's okay. That'll be fine. But I'm loaded on water. I believe there is water at the cabin as well. So I should be good. And then, yeah, we'll just sort of play it by ear. I've been reading up at every single waypoint between here and White Pass. And there's a lot of burn areas coming up. So there are a few sites that are safe that are out of the burned areas. So I just have to sort of plan my mileage around those so that I don't get stuck at night having to camp amongst a bunch of dead trees. That would not be conducive to a good night's sleep. But yeah, that's the plan. It doesn't put me out much. We can take it really easy today. I'm going to give my feet a really good massage. They're feeling really good, but they've been working hard the last few mornings. They've been working really hard the last few mornings, so I want to attend to them and let them know I appreciate them. So that's it for me. I got to get some breakfast and get loaded up. See you down trail. Okay, so this is my ankle brace. It's over my sock. On its own, I don't find it's enough, but I found that if I just roll this back towards the arch, get it back as far as I can towards the ankle, it works really good. Voila. So if I had a little something to go underneath the ankle a bit more, it would probably help more, but thus far it's been doing wonders, so I'm very happy with it. All right, so this is the start of the burn zone. This is why I don't want to camp under these things. So I'm gonna have a short day today. That, my friends, is an eerie sound when you're out here hiking by yourself. So I have had 22 northbounders, Nobos, pass me in the last hour and a half. I think we're getting close to the bubble. So it is 11:30 and I am 1.2 miles away from the cabin. Making really good time today. Section I's trails are immaculate. They are fantastic. Couldn't ask for anything more. So, setting up camp here at the cabin. I've got my dinner soaking, or my lunch, I should say. So I guess it's a bunch of like sidekick noodles or something. And I added some Parmesan to it. So I'm cold soaking those. I'm really low on fuel, so I don't want to do that. And they do have a cast iron stove, a wood stove in here. And they have all the fixings, kindling, everything to make a fire. But I'm not sure, because there is a fire ban, if we can use the wood stove. I would think so, but I'm not 100% positive, so I don't want to be the one to light the forest on fire. So I decided that I'm going to cold soak tonight instead. I swept out the main floor area here where I'm going to put up my air mattress and sleep tonight. It's going to be very dark in the cabin because no light gets in. And I don't know if there'll be other hikers here or not. There may be. But there's mouse droppings everywhere. Like every surface is covered in them. And then there's a raised platform with a metal grate in back, which I guess could technically be used for outdoor sleeping. But all it took was for me to see one giant black and yellow spider. And I guess I'm sleeping indoors. I don't know. The whole reason I wanted to sleep in the cabin instead of putting out my tent is because that's one less thing to pack up in the morning, so it'll make it easier to get out of here. Oh, shit. Sorry, my lunch just spilled. So yeah, if I didn't have to put up my tent, it would make it much, much easier to just load everything up and go. But if I'm not in my tent, then mice and spiders and insects of all sort can crawl all over me. And I like hiking, but I really like being in my tent and protected. So I don't know. I might end up putting my tent up. We'll have to wait and see. But my my quilt is all nicely dried out. And it looks like I talked to a couple of Nobos, and they were saying that, yeah, the tent sites and water sites for the next little while are rare, and they are quite far spaced apart. So there's two that are okay. One is 10 miles from here tomorrow, and the other one would be like 13 point something from here tomorrow. But it's a day of massive climbs to get to those two spots, so might end up being the 10. The only problem is that the next day it's massive climbs again, and great distances to get to the next water sources and the next campsites, safe campsites. So it's hard, but right now I'm just enjoying this beautiful meadow. Well, it's just after 5. I've been here for 5 hours now. I've swept the cabin. I made a small little fire in the wood stove just to burn some of the trash that was in there and to give the cabin a little different smell. Just some twigs that were in there, like some kindling and a little bit of paper, garbage that somebody had thrown in. So I'd burnt that up. It smells a little bit better. I swept, because there were mouse droppings everywhere. It's 5 o'clock. I need to be up in 12 hours. I need to be on the trail no later than 13 hours from now. Got a huge climb tomorrow and another one the day after. Love to get 12 mile days, but most likely going for 10s. at least for tomorrow. Tomorrow gets me to a campsite after a couple big ups. Like the first campsite that is not in dead stuff. Actually, I think there's only 2 campsites listed for this next little bit. And the 10-mile one is one of them. The other one is at 13 miles, and it is noted that it is surrounded by dead trees. So I'm going for the 10-mile one. And then we'll see after that. So it looks like just 2 more days of these big uphills, and then it should calm down, sort of be ridge running for a while, and then down into White Pass. So it's still early. It's only 5 o'clock. So figuring for the next 3 to 4 hours, more hikers could be showing up and coming in. So don't know how much sleep I'll get, but it's too cold to be sitting up outside of my quilt. And I am getting tired. So my lunch dinner didn't turn out so well. Whatever that noodle and sauce stuff was, it was buried in salt. Like, just, oh my God, how can people eat that much salt? But I tried. I ate maybe a third of it. So I'm feeling fairly full, but I have horrid heartburn all the way down and all the way up from all that salt. I've got just about 1.5 liters of water to get me through tomorrow until I get to my next water source. Problem is the next water source is that 13-mile camp. So tomorrow might end up being a dry night. Not my favorite, but if I have to make it do, I have to make it do. I'd rather sleep one night without water and have to hike in the morning to get it than sleep under a bunch of dead trees. So I'm prioritizing. Aren't you proud of me? Yeah, so that's it. I'm going to try and get as much sleep as I can. I'm laid out here on the main floor so that if other hikers do come in, all my stuff is right here, so it's easy for me to just grab it, bring it out onto the landing, pack it up, make breakfast, and go. So that's the plan. So I'll let you have one more look out my front door before I go to bed. That is it. So beautiful, beautiful little meadow. Met a couple more hikers, most of them northbound. I did meet 3 other southbounders, but I think that they're most likely doing like just sections in Washington or just sections of the PCT like I'm doing, and not trying to do a full through hike this year because time's getting real tight for that. But I still have lots of time to do mine. Anyway, y'all, have a good night. Sweet dreams. We'll see you on trail.